Hello. You may not immediately be able to see what I'm doing here. This is a 1972 50 horsepower Evinrude. I think it's an Evinrude. Where's the hood? Yeah, Evinrude. It's a pretty nice low hour motor. The paint is quite clean. The parts are quite clean. It's been sitting around for decades. You can see a little bit of rust here, but for the most part, everything on it is pretty nice. I mean, yeah, you got to look through the dirt and the dust and stuff, but once you get past that, everything on it functions, everything turns, everything's there. It's not rigged, messed with. It's just a clean little low hour motor. It's pretty nice. And it's a short shaft, making it pretty rare. The only real problem, as far as that I can tell so far, is the blown rod. So what I noticed, I pulled the starter off, and I noticed this little thing. What is that doing there? That looks like a wrist pin to me. Now, how did the wrist pin go from, inside the piston there over to here? I think this thing is pretty destroyed, and I want to see how bad. So I'm going to pop the power head off and take it apart, and we'll see how good it is. I do have a spare power head right there that I picked up a long time ago for it. So I'm going to rip the ignition off, get the carburetors off, and then pull the power head, and see how it looks in there. See, I saw this thing for sale on the Craigslist years and years ago. The guy wanted $400 for it. Where's my socket? Anyway, so yeah, the guy wanted $400 for it. At the time I needed a short shaft motor of higher horsepower, not like 20 or anything. So I was like, well, a little more than I want to pay for an engine that old, but Dad says it's in good shape. So I called him. He's like, yep, got the motor. It's a great motor. Took it off because the boat sucked, and I saved it because it was such a good motor. It's got nothing wrong with it at all. So if you want it, I got a lot of other people interested in it. You can come get it, but I'm not budging on the price. Alright, whatever. So I took the long drive to Santa Clarita, which, if you're familiar with the Southern California, Santa Clarita is not easy to get to if you live anywhere else but Santa Clarita. So anyway, I made my way over there. Got to the guy's house kind of late at night. He's showing it to me. It's got a controller, so that's good. Motor is pretty clean, not too bad. So like, all right, take the hood off. Flywheel's rubbing on the starter. I was like, oh, okay. So I start looking around at it. It's like, hey, I thought you were going to show me the one that ran good. Yeah, this is, what are you talking about? It's like, well, there's kind of a big hole in the side of the motor here. What? He was all shocked. He's like, oh, I had no idea. I don't know what happened. Oh, no. Oh, the usual. I was like, well, I'm still interested. I'll give you $75. He's like, all right, fine, take it. And I did. And I shouldn't have, because I haven't done anything with it since. I found that 40 horse, I think it was a 91, no, 89 or 90, I don't know. Anyway, so I got that 40 horse instead. Fix that up, use that on my boat instead of this thing. I'm tired of looking at this thing. I don't want to get rid of it because it's, I know its potential, and it's a short shaft, not easy to come by. But I don't need it, so I haven't fixed it. So basically, I'm not trying to turn into an engine hoarder here, so I figured no time like the present, haven't really been doing much, might as well fix this thing. So that's what I'm going to be doing after I get this power head off, if it comes off. I'll check out the lower and stuff to see if it's any good. So anyway, I'll take this part, get the power head out. Okay, got the power head off. Got the speed wrench hooked up. Figured I'd start with the spark plugs. Also, I think earlier I said this was the 72. It's actually a 73. Bottom spark plug is, I don't know, ugly, but yeah, nothing observable. When I took the linkage off, I noticed these little metal shavings right here. Let's see if I can get them out. There's one. Man, that looks like drill shavings, really. That's funny. So, that's interesting. Well, anyway, back to it. I guess we'll just get the power head off. Power head. This thing. Some type of head that goes over cylinders, I guess this thing's called. Alright. Probably all of them. I have a cylinder head remover here. So, top of our cylinder head really isn't as bad as you would imagine. You would imagine with the blown rod you just have pitting, all kinds of stuff going on here. But we do have metal shavings made it past the piston itself, but didn't really embed it. Yeah, metal shavings right here. Piston is free to move as it pleases. It's not stuck in there. Alright, let's get the front off. Yeah, metal shavings all over the bottom reed. It's like metal dust, I'd say, more than anything. See how straight it is on this one. See that good dent right here. So something smacked that nice and good. Bent the reed up. Shavings. Metal galore. There's the, I'm assuming is the connecting rod. Connecting rod. Wrist pin. Alright, back to taking it apart. That should be all the things that are holding the power head half together. I don't see another taper pin. I guess we're good. Yeah, they've never come apart on me that easily before. It's always a bit of a struggle. So here is the inner casing. This hole shouldn't be here. And then it's cracked all the way up front, where the rod is wedged itself up against the housing there. Now obviously there should be more rod than that, but that's what we got. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so now it's rotating, so that's good. The crank unbolted, if I can. So we were missing a roller out of the bearing cage. I don't know how that would exactly happen, but it did. It's possible when I took the cap off, it stayed behind. Yeah, it did. Alright, so never mind, we're not missing nothing. So there is our rod. It's just a little bit snapped off. Twisted, it looks like, too. So you can see the heat difference between the lower and the top, the discoloration between the two. Also see a lot of pitting on the metal. I don't know if that's necessarily a casting mark or if that's from the heat and explosion. I don't know. Bearings seem fine. They're not, but they feel okay. Throw that in my pile of crinks over there. Let's get the top piston out. So that's interesting to me. The top piston is even cracked. See it? Wouldn't think it would be. Now for the bottom. It does move, so I'm just going to push it out. You know what, let me clean the bench first. Alright. So, there is quite a bit going on down inside of there. Looks like we have the bearing cage right there. The top of the connecting rod right there. And then we got some, got a little bit of piston here. Alright, that's under the bench, that's good as gone. And some of a piston down there. Let's get it out. And there's the piston. Some of it anyway, the top half. That is pretty funny. Looking at the cylinder walls, I don't know, I've seen worse, I guess. Let me show you. So, aside from the grenading damage, doesn't look like the piston really seized itself in there or anything. The top is nice and oily. See its sheen versus the bottoms. So that's notable, but I wouldn't say it's a definite answer of what happened to this thing. Because, you know, if it overheated, usually you would see, like, see how there's no paint here? That's usually what you would see right here, where the paint just cooks off. But it didn't. This is probably not from overheating. This is probably from where the shift and throttle linkage were and just didn't get painted. You can see the, you know. So we look on this side. Again, there was just stuff here and that's why it's not painted, but it's not boiled off. Same with on our cylinder head. You know, the paint's still intact. So I don't think it overheated. And it probably wasn't a lack of oil, although it could have been. The thing is, I think if it was a lack of oil, friction, heat, and then seizing, this wouldn't have come out like that. I think it would have just overheated. This would have expanded inside the cylinder walls, the engine would have got stuck, and that would have been the end of it. I mean, this just blew up. So it could be oil, but given the condition of the cylinder walls and the piston and the fact that it came out of there, I don't think so. I'm leaning towards it just, maybe it over-revved or something. You know, maybe they brought it up to 5,000 RPM out of the water or something. I don't know. I would say that's a pretty good guess. Because the engine's pretty nice, pretty clean. I mean, it's very possible. You get it running, put it in gear, and just full throttle it. Which we've seen happen a lot. I don't know. As far if that's the case, the guy saying it ran fine and they took it off, yeah, he's a liar. So, let me know what you think. Maybe I'll go clean up this piston and save it. Little display piston or something. I need to find like an art project I could do with pistons, like, you know, maybe like a little shelf, a little candle holder, maybe a little wall sconce, a little light inside of there. I don't know. I've been thinking of something, just I haven't thought of anything good to use these broken pistons for. Anywho, so 2 things now. Let me know what you think caused this damage, and if you have a good creative idea on what to use pistons for, let me know. Maybe I could make like a robot man figurine kind of thing. Connecting rods. You know what I mean? I don't know. All right, everybody. See you next time.